cannot focus, function, or do anything without getting this off my chest, which is why I've put the camera on. It was not my intention. This was not the plan. This was not the plan. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you can't tell from the title, thumbnail, and the introduction to this video, I'm going to be sitting down today and discussing my thoughts, kind of telling you my review of Cora Riley's recent Mafia release by Frenzy, I Ruin, which was a book I didn't really like. Throughout the years, I have reviewed most of Cora Riley's books as they come out. And when this one was released, I was bombarded with DMs on Instagram from you guys saying like, hey, are you gonna read it? Have you read it? What are your thoughts? What's going on? We need to hear the tea from you, sis. And at the time, obviously, I was reading a hell of a lot of fan fiction. I recently pulled myself out of that, and this was the first book I picked up, okay? This was the first book I decided to read after reading Dramione fan fiction for a solid freaking month. If you have watched any of the videos that I have filmed, edited, and uploaded featuring any of Cora Riley's books, you would know that I actually love her books. Bound by Honor is one of my favorite books. Twisted Emotions. We've got Twisted Pride. Bound by Love. Sweet Temptation, which was the first goddamn book, baby. The first one that got me spiraling into Cora Riley's world. Absolute masterpieces that I could not live without, that I reread every year. No matter what, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter the fucking weather. I'm always rereading these. They're my favorite, heart and soul. I love them. Kisses for them all. Why is the Next Generation series falling so flat? Like, what is going on? What is in the waters? I need answers. I had high expectations for this series when the first book came out. My review was very up and down for the first book. I liked it, then I didn't like it, and then I liked it, and then it got to the end and I thought, oh no, this is gonna be good. And the second book was like, why? Then came the third book in the series and I thought to myself, I beg your pardon, what is this? Then the fourth book came out. Though I liked that one the most out of all of them so far in the Next Gen series, I still had qualms, baby. Now this one, by Frenzy I Ruin, by far, has messed my mind up the actual most. There has not been one hero in this series that I have swooned over. None of the romances have felt romantic whatsoever. The relationships have no chemistry. I don't believe in their love. I don't understand what's going on with these characters. They read and feel very young, like very, very immature. The Mafia trope is pretty much non-existent in all of the books, which is conflicting. It's meant to be a Mafia series. Why does it not feel like one? It's giving off, I'm writing these because my fans want them. Rory and Nevio's book, when the previews and the snippets were released from Cora, you know, we got a bit of a gauge on what tropes were going to be present in the novel, and we knew like the stalker trope was going to be present. We knew certain things were going to show up, but how they were executed baffles me, baby. So we've got Nevio and Rory. Rory is Fabi's daughter and Nevio is Remo's son. They've grown up together, they know each other. Rory has been like fawning over Nevio for quite some time, and Nevio is meant to be a psychotic psychopath who murders for fun, is very vicious, and doesn't have the capability of loving people. She constantly gets warnings from him and other members of the family to stay away, stop trying to pursue him. He's not the type of man that she deserves. But she's so immature in this book that she doesn't listen to those concerns and those warnings and just barrels right into the arms of the monster. And it is just a fucking hot mess, train wreck. I've said this before in past reviews when it comes to the Next Generation series, but it definitely reads like rich kids, you know, privileged rich kids that are just like trying to be bad because they've got money and they're bored. The unholy trinity aspect of this novel, including the three boys, was cringeworthy. Okay, I'm sorry. The opening scene with them, I wanted to dive into a fucking hole, bury myself in there and stay there for the rest of eternity. It was that cringeworthy. It was not attractive. When I say it reads young, it feels so young to me. I can read high school romances. I can read all different types of romances for all different ages. You know, ones without smart, with smart, and I can enjoy a romance no matter what. Like if I believe and feel connected to the characters, then I enjoy the ride. I'm there for the ride. With this one, it was just instantly like, ugh. A lot of people actually messaged me and said, like, I don't think you're gonna like this book because you didn't like Fragile Longing. And that female character really gave me the ick, and so did Rory, unfortunately. Like, embarrassing. Why does Cora always have to write virginal heroines, for starters? I know it's kind of meant to be like the traditional thing within the Mafia world and the world that she's built, and I understand that completely. I don't mind reading that in novels. But, you know, with the next gen, there was meant to be growth within the Mafia traditions, and I was expecting a more modern, kind of empowering, feminist type of movement. Like, I was expecting the women to feel powerful when I read them. I have not got that. Like, Marcella was a big disappointment. Anna was a big disappointment. Greta was a big disappointment. And Rory just was the icing on top of the fucking cake. I felt like Cora tried to make the characters different than other characters that she has written. So she kind of chucked in all these things, but none of it was cohesive and none of it suited the characters. Like the whole skateboarding thing, Nevio being a murderer, kept a tally of who he killed tattooed into his skin. Like, it was just a bit much and just like laughable. I was quite bored reading this up until we got to the point when Nevio started stalking Rory. And I will say I did like the stalker aspect, and I actually wish that there was more of that within the book. It was kind of, like I said before, it just felt like it was chucked in. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to make him a stalker now. That's how the whole story felt. I'm going to make him do that now. I'm going to make her do that. And then they're just going to work. But there was no angst and no chemistry to add to these character developments. It was very blocky. I don't know if I'm making sense. The way I describe things is very strange. I know, I am strange. But it just felt like pieces of character traits pushed together. It just didn't click. It didn't jive with me, baby. It didn't jive with me. And I hated Rory, and I really despised Nevio. Like, I just felt like he was not attractive. Like, everything he did was so wrong. Like, the stalker part I enjoyed, and I just really wish that that was the whole basis of the story. I wish that he had like this infatuation with Rory since they were kids, and he like stalked her and was kind of like the knight in shining armor in the shadows. I really wanted it to be like unrequited love on Nevio's behalf. Like, he was the one pining after Rory, and Rory was like, no, like, I can't go there with you. Not her pining over him and him going, no, you can't go there with me, but then also giving in to her and becoming a stalker. It was just weird. Now, when they threw in the whole Nevio's child, I beg your fucking pardon, what was that? Why would any of us swoon over a man who dumped his child on the girl that he's stalking and then leaves her to raise his kid on her own? I don't understand why she thought that that would have been a good idea. Like, that is not swoon-worthy material, baby. That is not what makes me kick my feet and squeal. When I read that, I was like, ick. You are horrible. I don't want Rory with you. The whole time I didn't want Rory with him. Even though I disliked Rory, I still didn't want her with him. I didn't want them to be together because I just didn't like them together. I thought they were a toxic relationship. And you know, I do usually like a lot of toxicity in my fictional relationships. Like, I love reading it. But the pros of the male character have to outweigh the toxicity. This was so unbalanced, bitch. The scales were tipped like this. It is deeply disappointing because this had the chance to be so well done and so good. Like I said before, I really expected like powerful women. Like, when we first got the snippet of Marcella in the first book before that released, It sounded like she was going to be this hot ass bitch stomping around the streets of New York City with her Louis Vuittons on. Okay, that's what I was expecting. I expected these characters to be like their parents, but better, more grown, a different generation, like just older. Like when you read the parents' books, they're all meant to be around the same age as the characters in the next gen. Ages feel drastically different. Like I feel like in the next gen, the way that they've been written, they read like they're 14. I would have much more appreciated if this was just set up as a surprise pregnancy. I feel like that could have worked. Like, hear me out. This is what I'm feeling, what should have been the story. Nevio is a stalker. He's infatuated with Rory. He's been stalking her and he's been obsessed with her since childhood. And then like when she comes of age, he presents himself, but Rory doesn't want a bar of it. It's unrequited love. Something happens one night and she gets drunk or something and she makes a lapse in judgment and she sleeps with him. Bang. There's a positive pregnancy test. There's the conflict for Fabi. She wants to get, I don't know, rid of the baby or something. But Nevio is like, no way, you can't get rid of my child. And, you know, he's obsessed with her and the thought of her carrying his child. So he's like pining after her. And you get what I'm saying? And that would have suited this story so much better in this world if it was set up like that. Like, it truly would have been so much fucking better. I just don't know what else to expect from this series. After Cora's release of Dangerous Innocence, I was kind of happy that she took a break from this world and wrote that, because I did like that book. Was it amazing? No, it was pretty stock standard, but I did enjoy it. And I was hoping that that break from this world would like put her back on the right path. I know she's been busy like raising babies and stuff, and I understand how fucking difficult it is to like get anything done when you're a mother, but I don't know where the future of her books lie. I don't know what her plan is. I don't know, like I'm looking back at these books and I'm thinking maybe this was just a fluke. Maybe these were just like a one-off and she won't be able to replicate it again. I want to say like one of the only things in the book that I enjoyed was seeing the parents, and that goes for all of the books in this series. It's always entertaining and a good freaking time when you come across some of your favorite characters. I loved Remo in this book. He's exactly how I thought he would be. Same with Serafina, same with Fabi, dealing with Rory, his reaction to the relationship, the conflict within the story. I understood where he was coming from. I empathized with him. Overall, I was just really disappointed with this book, and I rated it only 2 freaking stars, babe. And I never rate any book 2 stars. Like the lowest I rate is 3. I find that with this next generation, the books are very forgettable. Like once I'm done reading them, once I have filmed these videos, these review videos and uploaded them, the books just disappear in my mind. I have such a good memory and I remember all my favorite books and I reminisce and I sit there and I daydream about them. This next generation has not triggered those feelings and emotions. If authors are going to write next gen, they need to take a page out of Amo Jones's book, because her new Next Generation series so far, just after book 1, was phenomenal, right? And she's done it so well. She's made it modern and new and different, but still within the same world, and you still get that like nostalgia when you come across the parents, but like you're there for the kids. Cora's next gen, you're there for the parents. You can't tell me you're not there for the parents, because the kids are holding no substance. There's no grit, substance, gore. There's no like anything to their characters that keep you there. Like there's just not. And you know what? Many people may disagree with me. They may like this story. They may like this series. I feel sorry for the people that come across Cora's book via the new gen, because it's like, girl, if you were with us in 2020 or in 2021 when we were reading the Kimura and we were reading Bound by Blood for the first time, you had to be there. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this story and the next gen. And like, Are you going to continue on reading them? Have you even read this one yet? I'm not sure. Let me know what you want me to read. I need some suggestions, guys. I don't know what to read. I am in a Mafia mood. When I'm finished filming this and editing it, I'm going to curate a Mafia TBR. Let me know if you want to see a Mafia TBR video, and I'll film that for you. I'm in the mood for the glamorous bang bang. You know what I mean? Like the bang bang. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.